What is going on, everyone? The NFL draft is less than 30 days away, and the Houston Texans have two picks in the second round, number 42 and number 59. Let me know in the comments down below your biggest draft needs for this Houston Texans team today. We are doing a 3-round mock draft. If you are not in my Discord, what are you doing? If you want to be a part of it, let me know in the comments down below, and I will personally send you the invite link. Look, one of the reasons why I am excited for this draft is General Manager Nick Caserio. What he has shown, if he wants his guy, he is going to get his guy. Last year's draft class, pretty much everyone was traded up for except for C.J. Stroud. They traded up for Will Anderson Jr. They traded up for Juice Scruggs. They traded up for Tank Dell. They traded up for Jared Patterson. Nick Caserio is most aggressive during this time, and I cannot wait to see what is going to happen. Welcome, everyone, to the 713 Houston Sportcast. I am your host, Ruben Calavillo. I drop daily Houston Texans content, so make sure you guys are following me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching today's episode. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am using the PFF draft model, and with the 42nd pick in the 2024 NFL draft, the Houston Texans are selecting wide receiver Xavier Leggett from South Carolina. Once again, I am invested into my franchise quarterback, C.J. Stroud. Here is Xavier Leggett's first look. He is a late bloomer. He was used mainly as a schemed up yards after catch receiver in 2022 and was not trusted to win as a route runner. This past season was a much different story. Leggett ascended to wide receiver 1 in South Carolina's offense and gave us a season of wow moments due to his athleticism while standing 6'3", 227 pounds. He has some of the most impressive contested catches of any receiver, and he can hit a top speed that most his size simply can't. His pros: impressive side speed combination, hit over 22 miles per hour on a play in 23. Dominant contested catch receiver, creates yards after the catch who can be emphasized in the quick game. Huge catch radius and makes the most of it. He made plenty of full extension receptions this season. Love his mentality to attack the ball in the air. His cons: not much variance in his release and footwork off the line of scrimmage. Route tree is limited, but it feels like he can diversify it. His stats on the year: this was his breakout year in 23. He had 71 receptions for 1,255 yards and 7 touchdowns. Now, I don't think he is going to last and be there at 42, but if he is, I am all over this. I just saw the Steve Smith podcast where he said Xavier Leggett reminds him of DK Metcalf. Imagine adding that type of talent, that type of size and speed to this Houston Texans passing attack. Everyone watch out. Next, at pick 59 for the Houston Texans, I went with Peyton Wilson, linebacker from NC State. Now, if you remember, the Houston Texans met with him at the Senior Bowl. Here's his first look. Wilson will be one of the older prospects in the 2024 NFL draft class. He missed time due to injuries at NC State, but when on the field, he proved to be one of the best defenders in college football. His 6'4" frame gives him plus pass rush ability up the middle and around the edge. Despite his knee injuries, he is very fluid for his size, both in coverage and as a pass rusher. That allows him to match and mirror tight ends and running backs, as well as cover a lot of ground in spot dropping assignments. He can recognize where the flow ball is going and has a pursuit speed to be impactful. He also has great ball skills for a linebacker. His pros: good length to handle blockers and get off blocks. Quick trigger down here. Fluid athlete for his size. Covers a lot of ground in coverage when shuffling. Above average pursuit speed. Good pop at contact despite being listed between 230 and 235 pounds. Cons: extensive injury history. Slender frame and lack of weight show up at times against bigger players. This is the only knock on Peyton Wilson, because it says here, Wilson has the length, movement ability, IQ, and tape of a first round linebacker. What will likely keep him from being drafted on day one is his injury history and age. If healthy, he can be a starting inside linebacker in any defense. He's had 2 ACL surgeries, and I believe he's also had 2 shoulder surgeries. But this is someone who, when healthy, can produce for you. Now, this is the benefit of having an extra pick in the second round. You can wait for Peyton Wilson to develop. You just signed Azeez Al-Shaair, but you could use him in blitz packages. It says he's very good in coverage. I would not mind Peyton Wilson at pick 59 for the Houston Texans. And finally, in the third round at pick 86, I went with Leonard Taylor III, defensive lineman from the University of Miami. His first look, Taylor is built like a super-sized linebacker in the middle. At 6'4", 305 pounds, his best pass rush moves come from a good first step and violent hands. However, his strike placement is inconsistent. When he doesn't win by shooting a gap or with a good first step, he can struggle to disengage from blocks. He also has a bad tendency to pop up out of his stance and get out leveraged. Taylor is a strong player in the run defense, but his lack of consistent leverage allows him to be controlled too easily. Though he is explosive on some reps, he's unnecessarily twitched up when it comes to changing direction, block shedding, and pursuit. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you his cons first. Gets out of this gap too often. Pad level pops up right out of his stance. While his first step is adequate, he isn't as twitched up as the best interior defenders. Hands are powerful, but miss their mark. Violent and strong, but seems a little out of control when disengaging his blocks. Now the pros. He is built like a supersized linebacker. Explosive potential is top tier, though not always consistent. And hands can be powerful. I mean, this is someone who you are going to have to refine, and he is going to have to learn the little things to get better. But this is why you are selecting him in the third round. I think someone like Leonard Taylor could start next to Danico Autry and build as the season goes on. And when you talk about this entire 3 rounds, right, I went with Xavier Leggett, Peyton Wilson, Leonard Taylor. I think 2 of these guys could start right away, Leggett and Taylor, right, with Peyton Wilson kind of learning and being behind Azeez Al-Shaair and Christian Harris. What I like about Leggett is you could potentially see him step up if guys like Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Noah Brown, if they miss some time. Guys, let me know how you feel about this mock draft. I am a fan of it. Once again, I went with, give me some time, at 42, Xavier Leggett, wide receiver from South Carolina. At 59, Peyton Wilson, linebacker from NC State. And at number 86 in the third round, I went with Leonard Taylor III, defensive lineman from the U. Let me know your guys' thoughts. And as always, for more Houston Texans content, y'all feel free to follow me. For more, go H-Town. Have a very blessed day.